Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the episode 14 of the Portland School District Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Kosminski, and with us in the studio is our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Charles Britton, and we have our principal, Miss Kate Lawson, here, and this is going to be our graduation edition of the podcast. So welcome, Charles, and welcome, Kate.
Hello, Dave.
Thank you.
All right. So, Charles, you want to kick it off? We had our joint Board of Selectmen, Board of Education meeting last night and our Board of Education meeting Tuesday night in the new Zoom studio. So I think that went pretty well. And I think we're off and running.
Yeah. So I guess what I would start by saying is one of the things we've learned from the pandemic is that we can accomplish business just as efficiently through Zoom and through an online platform as we can in person.
Sure.
So the neat thing about one of the changes we just made at the Board of Ed is that from now forward, we will allow members of the audience, community members, administrators who are attending the meeting, anybody, to continue to join and make comments or presentations to the board via Zoom. And board members are also going to be given the option of coming to those meetings in person or via Zoom. Certainly, we've seen attendance pick up dramatically.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of convenience. If you're home at 7 o'clock at night and you want to, make some comments to the board or tune in, please, you can do that now from your living room. You don't have to drive across town. And I'm happy for our administrators too. They're at all of the meetings and regularly making presentations. It's nice that they can go do that from the comfort of their home and not have to be driving across the state at 10 o'clock at night when those meetings get over. So I think there's one of the silver linings of the pandemic right there. Is
Sure.
that we've learned how to use technology more efficiently, and it's seamless. So the studio you built is beautiful, and I love the TVs and the way that it's set up in there so that we can have this hybrid of people who want to come in person, people who want to participate via Zoom, I think it threads the needle, and thank you for your work on that.
Yeah, no worries. And again, if you missed the meeting, it's also posted on YouTube. So you can get, all the lowdown of what went on, how it went on, and who was there, and all that kind of good stuff. So, which is good. So, good morning, Kate. How are you?
I am well, thank you. And you?
Well, any better than I'd be twins. So tell us what's happening here at the PHS.
Well, this is always an exciting, energy-filled time of year. And I think this year even more so because the kids have really been restricted over the last 18 months with what they've been allowed to do. And as I always say, I couldn't be prouder of the students at Portland High School. They represent us. They represent their families and their community in an exemplary way at all times that makes me very proud to be their principal. We met with the juniors and seniors yesterday during our mentor period, and we talked to them about the exciting things that are coming with the prom and the senior trip, and I can share some details about that. We also cautioned them that this is a time of year when risky behavior can lead to things that we would rather not think about around tragedy.
Absolutely.
And they heard from our nurse and they heard from me. And I also shared with them a pretty powerful speech. It was Denzel Washington's commencement address to the University of Pennsylvania, which I think has a much more positive tone than lecturing kids about the dangers of drinking and driving. It talks about focusing on their future and about how they will continue to have a bright future, and you don't want to lose that in a moment's notice or in short-term thinking. So tomorrow we are taking the senior class to Lake Compounce for a outside safe senior trip. We'll be there until about 4 o'clock. And then thanks to Project Graduation, we are coming back to the high school from 5 to 7 to distribute yearbooks. Project Graduation has sponsored some food trucks and a DJ, and we're going to spread out on the soccer field, and the kids can spend time together as a class and sign each other's yearbooks, and really generally enjoy each other's company in a socially safe way that will allow them to be together as a class.
Right.
Sunday evening is our prom, and I know Sunday is a non-traditional time for our prom. But with the venues being as double booked this year as they are, with all the events that were lost last year, we are very lucky to have Wadsworth Mansion Sunday evening. All our students will either be submitting proof of vaccination or submitting a negative COVID test to attend. I think a prom is probably the most difficult event to socially distance by its very nature.
Yes.
And we will be doing our best to make sure that the kids have a wonderful, fun time. And the nice thing about the Wadsworth is that it's outside for the
Yes.
most part, except for the dining room. So that will be nice. June 10th in the evening at 6:30 is our Spring Sports Awards ceremony, which
Yes.
will also be in person, just like our Winter Sports Awards was. We'll be able to open up the attendance for that. And then June 16th is the day.
Yes.
It is the day. It is graduation. The governor, when he relaxed the guidelines on May 19th, really gave us a lot of latitude to return to quote unquote normal. We will be having an outside ceremony. Traditionally, it has been done in the front of the school. That's where it will be this year. We have sort of two different groups of guidelines. One is for attendees and one is for the students. Students will be required to wear masks while they're sitting on stage. Not every member of the senior class has been fully vaccinated yet.
Right.
And we want to keep them safe in this last event. They can take the masks off for their pictures, and generally, it's just when they're close together as a group that we
Sure.
want to keep them safe.
And most of the staff has been vaccinated already.
Yes, almost all of the staff has been
Correct.
vaccinated, but the kids, based on their age and their availability and family decisions, not everyone has. So we want to keep the kids safe. And the attendees, however, can follow the governor's guidelines. We're having an open admission with our traditional seating. Members of the community are encouraged to come if they are vaccinated, because this will not be socially distanced. We will not be requiring guests to wear their masks.
Right.
People may choose to do that, but it will not be mandated. We will, as we've done in the past, be offering a live stream option, which definitely has been popular since we've had
Sure.
that technology for family members that are far away and elderly grandparents who aren't able to travel. Has worked out really nicely. Should we have to move it inside due to rain? We have decided. Initially we thought about having a rain date the following day, and that just presented a lot of logistical challenges.
Yep.
So in the event of weather, and this is a change, we will be moving inside. We will be limiting guests, as we've done every year, to 6 per graduate, 4 in the auditorium and 2 in the overflow rooms with live stream.
Okay.
And we will be requiring indoor masks.
Okay.
But this will be my 6th Portland High School graduation, and I'm on a 5-year streak of outside sunny graduations, and I'm hoping to carry that into year 6.
There you go.
I think we'll be in good shape, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Sure, we're going to be using the middle school cafeteria as the overflow room, as we have in the past.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Well, we had a very nice award ceremony last Thursday in the gym. Everything went very well, and I think parents enjoyed it, and I think the students did also.
I thank you for mentioning that. I'm kind of in the forward motion thinking. I'm not thinking about what we already did. Awards was awesome.
Yes.
I mean, it couldn't have been any better, and it's such a nice opportunity for the community to really see as a whole the wonderful things our kids are doing.
Sure.
And the wonderful support our community gives. I mean,
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars to help these kids with their
Absolutely.
post-secondary
Yes.
education, and it's awesome to see.
No, we gave out our Town Tech scholarship last Thursday, and that went well. And Lila Delaron was the recipient of that, and congratulations to her, and of course all of the award winners.
Yeah, it was a beautiful ceremony. Kate did an amazing job. The balloons, everything was perfect. And the thing that I always reflect on when I think of those ceremonies is the amount of work that went into those awards.
Sure.
I mean, between the hours our students spent studying and the hours that our teachers spent designing and articulating and delivering and assessing the lessons. I mean, there's probably hundreds of thousands of hours of work that it went into those awards. And I thought it was just a perfect opportunity to celebrate that. It was really well done, and those kids, they're awesome. I mean, it's just inspiring how amazing they are and where they're going and what they're going to accomplish. And
Sure.
We just owe a lot of levels of appreciation to a lot of people for making that happen.
Yeah, and it was just so nice to have everybody in person to, for the parents to enjoy it, for the students to enjoy it. And I think it was very well done.
Yeah, and I want to just add one part about graduation. I see graduation as an interesting pivot day for us, right? We are making the pivot from doing everything in our power as school officials to keep people safe by implementing and enforcing mitigation strategies to we are going to do nothing at graduation for guests to implement mitigation strategies.
Right.
We're planning that graduation as if everybody there is vaccinated, which means we're not going to enforce mask wearing. We're not going to enforce social distancing. People are going to be there cheering loudly, spewing droplets of spit for their kids. And
Absolutely.
we're not limiting attendance.
Nope.
Come on in.
There you go.
Pack in.
Yeah.
And yell and scream. What the important thing in that, as I communicate it that way, is to say, if you're not vaccinated, take personal responsibility for yourself, which means wear your mask, wear a face shield, keep yourself distant, or stay home and watch it on the live stream. So the pivot here is one from we are going to do everything within our power for unvaccinated, vulnerable people to not.
Right.
So that's an interesting last day of school sort of pivot we're making. And I think that may set the stage now for how we begin thinking about next year.
Yeah, and I think going forward as we get through the summer and the governor's emergency powers, I think, are going to be released and so forth. And hopefully September we'll be back to normal.
Well,
or somewhat sense.
Yeah, and we'll certainly the nice thing is we'll have the rest of June, all of July, and all of August.
Sure.
But the final Rubicon to cross here is going to be our children, birth to age 12, to have an emergency authorized vaccine. And obviously I follow the news closely, and I know that it's not there yet. But it likely will. Once that happens and everybody is eligible for vaccinations, it then becomes a matter of civic responsibility to do that. And if that happens and we reach that herd immunity level, we may be right back to normal in September.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the hope.
Oh, absolutely. And as you know, Charles, we had our town podcast last week that you sat in on, and Russ Melman from the Health District came on and gave the stats, and Portland is over 70% vaccinated now. We are the highest in the Chatham Health District, so that bodes very, very well.
Yeah, and it's because of that now that Kate and I aren't saying you can only bring 2 guests to graduation.
Sure.
We are saying to our graduates and our community, everybody, extended family, whomever, everybody can now come to graduation and enjoy it. So I think that's a reflection of our community doing the right thing and reaching that 70% level, and the orders being relaxed by the governor, and Kate and I wanting to have this be a community celebration that isn't limited only to 2 parents.
Exactly.
So I think it's a true day to celebrate not only graduation but getting back together.
Sure. And Kate, you got your order put in for the nice weather,
Yes, please. I'll take all the help I can get.
Yeah. The prayers, the novenas, or whatever you want to call them. That's awesome.
Whatever we can make work.
Absolutely. So, going forward, guys, going into the summer, I know everybody has struggled, with the online learning, remote learning, and in-person learning, and so forth. Going forward, is there going to be resources available for our students during the summer and kind of catching back up if need be, or how's that?
So yes, we are running many summer programs that are going to be available. So what are available for everybody in the town, and if folks are hearing my voice and they're having any financial challenges with these, I would hope they reach out to me. But there is Camp Ingersoll by the YMCA, and they all have applied for a grant, and there is some additional financial aid available to families. So if parents are looking for an opportunity to be at Camp Ingersoll and maybe couldn't afford it, please let me know, and I can put you in touch with the right people. Park and Rec will have their camp here at the secondary school. This year, we're going to have a theater camp run by the Middletown Stage Company. They've been approved and authorized to use our facilities. Then we will have the online Tier 1 program that we've done for the past 2 summers for all of our students. And then we have some more targeted programs in intervention for our students in K through 8. And Kate has designed a credit recovery program for the secondary 9-12. So we're going to have it's going to be a very busy summer. There's lots of things going on. And a lot of these opportunities, of course, are funded by the federal money that we received.
Sure.
Which we're very grateful for. And I think it's going to help us continue to stay on track.
Right. Well, as speaking of the federal money, Tuesday, yes, Congressman John Lawson came to town. We had a Zoom meeting down in our studio, and he talked about the American Rescue Plan and the monies that are going to be coming to or have come to Portland. Not only on the government side but also on the education side. So those funds are obviously. Very much needed, and I think they will be utilized very, very well.
Good. And then the last thing, of course, what makes June very busy is it's our hiring season. We've had several people retire and other people leave the district. So we're hiring now for 2 clinician positions. That will be either social worker, school psychologist positions in the district. We're looking for a part-time history teacher. We're looking for a full-time math teacher. 2 now full-time second grade teaching positions, and then 1 administrative assistant. So lots of hiring going on, looking for some good people out there, and hoping to, my goal is to get to July 1 fully staffed. So
absolutely hit the ground running.
Yeah,
go from
nice.
there. So now with the clinicians, those be full-time clinicians? Or?
Full-time, yep.
Full-time.
One for Valley View and then 1 for our program here at the secondary.
Nice, great, awesome. Anything else, Kate?
If you had asked me 6 months ago if we'd be sitting here planning a full in-person graduation, I would have smiled and been unsure.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled with what we're able to do for these kids.
Well, and again, it's to, the credit of, Charles and the leadership team of, making it all happen, and Eric with the PVLA, and, those are all, pieces of the puzzle that, really made it all happen. So congratulations.
Absolutely.
To you guys. So great. All right. Unless we have anything else, I think that's going to be a wrap on our episode number 14. And again, this is our Portland School District podcast. We're live here right now in the Town Tech Educational Podcast Studio at Portland High School. And I'm your host, Dave Kosminski. So thank you, Charles, and thank you, Kate. And we'll see you at graduation.
Yes.
All right. So
rain or shine.
Exactly. So I had normally on all our podcasts, stay home, stay safe, wear your mask, and so forth. Now I've had to change that byline a little bit. So stay home. You don't have to stay home, but wear your mask if you haven't been vaccinated, and we'll see you at graduation.
How about this? Get vaccinated and go outside.
There you go. That's a plan. Great. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.
Thank you.